Hey everyone, today I'm gonna cast the closest game I've ever played ever. It's going to be me as the Chinese versus the French. So I'm going to increase the speed in the beginning because nothing much is happening. The first decision I make is to go for the fish. So I send the villager here, expecting to also take the deer later. And so I put everyone on wood. Since I liked the wood, I had to make a house instead of a village to unblock me. And the French, I'm scouting them and I see that they're doing a standard build with 4 on gold. So they're probably not fishing, but still I check just to be sure. And the first mistake I made was to produce a second scout. I wanted to make an Imperial official, and then by mistake I clicked the scout. So it took me a while to get my first Imperial official. And when you fish, well, usually if you play the Chinese, you will use your Imperial official to boost your food. So you will make a mill by the berries and then put your sheep there and then supervise the mill to get food faster. But since I don't have a mill and I'm going for fish, I was planning to use my Imperial official for the wood, since I need a lot of wood to produce my fishing ships. And you can see the French is already aging up. Also, their scout has scouted my dock, so I know that the knights will come there. And because of this, I sent my villager back to the base. So I don't have to, so I sent them back before the first knight comes and kills them. Also, I'm preparing spearmen, and again, I'm housed. I need to make a village or a house, so I make a village. What's going on this side? The knight is here, and I know that the knights will come, so I bring those gold miners back to the safety of the town center, because I don't have enough food to build my barbican. Anyway, I have enough gold to build the barbican, so I'm planning to build the barbican as soon as I get enough food. I have 3 spearmen. And you can see the knight and the scout are here. They don't see anyone on the gold, so they circle around. I still have a scout here, and then this scout is going to check the fish again, because I'm anxious that they're fishing. Oh, and you can see here, I thought that I should send my villagers to build the Barbican of the Sun and that they should be protected by the spearmen, and as soon as I do that, the spear is coming to my wood. One hit on the villager, a second one, and he's dead. And I only have 1 spear to protect, and he wasn't even in the right position. So I lost 1 villager right there. Also, I'm not in the feudal age yet, so I can't research textiles. You can see here they have 2 more knights, and that's another mistake, is that my 2 spearmen were here, and then there's 1 spearman here, whereas my villagers are here. Ideally, the spearmen should have been right on top of the villagers, so that if the knights come, then they get a spear into the face. Instead, I lose 1 villager, I lose a 2nd villager. I've already lost 3 villagers this game. I lose a 4th one. So this is a pretty bad start of the game. I'm already down 4 villagers, and I still haven't managed 5 villagers, and I still haven't managed to complete my Barbican of the Sun. And my spearmen are running around. They did some damage to the knights, but they didn't manage to kill them. Now these two, they're damaging the dock, but it's less important right now. And now I'm bringing more, because I really need to get this up. Boom! One more villager down. Luckily, the scout got a bit stuck. And yeah, the Barbican of the Sun shoots them in the face, and they die. But I have lost 6 villagers. So this is pretty bad. And while this was happening, I wasn't managing my economy very well. You can see that I have too much food and too much gold, but not enough wood. Not enough wood to produce more spearmen. So the French is researching chivalry to heal their knights and wheelbarrow. Yeah, so you can see that they're taking the deer out there, and I didn't realize that until much later. Anyway, so I have a bunch of food, but not enough gold and not enough wood. So my first priority is to get spearmen out, so I need the wood for that. And since they only have knights, I figured that it's safe to raid their gold. So I raid their gold. And that's when I see their first archer. So at this point I know that pure spearmen will not be enough. I need to get stables down and start producing horsemen. In order to slow them down, I make a palisade wall so that they cannot easily target my lumberjacks anymore. But you can see here that I cannot threaten their base anymore because of the archers. So I'm slowly collecting the wood to produce my stables, and now I have enough for stables. I come back because I have to retreat because of the archers, and now I use the Imperial Officer to boost the production of horsemen. And since I have a lot of food, I can pump out a lot of horsemen. So at least I have, you know, that going for myself. So I'm pumping out all the wood that I get, I spend on horsemen right now. And yeah, they're about to burn down my dock, which means I will lose my source of food, which is pretty bad. But since I have a pretty good food bank, I can still produce units for a while. And now I'm researching my blacksmith upgrades with the gold that I had collected. And I'm collecting more in order to prepare for my Song dynasty. I want to build my the academy to double my tax income. Anyway, so they're here trying to burn down my palisade wall. And as I'm waiting for to produce a bigger force, I'm trying to buy time. So I send these 2 villagers to repair the palisade. I also send this force to attack their gold, because I have a scout here, so I know what's going on. Anyway, my hope is that while they're trying to attack here, they will not be focusing on my raiding party. So this is a little bit of posturing, trying to push, and I thought I had enough spearmen, enough of a force to win this battle. So I just went all out. My horsemen are doing work on the archers. I'm trying to focus the spearmen on the knights, and it's going kind of okay. I mean, yeah, a lot of the archers are down. Some knights have gone down also, and you can see that the enemy has not reacted to my raid yet. So they've lost 6 villages so far, and only now have they realized. So I managed to even the number of villager kills with this one raid. And because of this, they're not doing anything on this side. Okay, so they have a few units left, but not enough to push. So they slow down on this side. My horsemen are still there. I see that there's no one on the gold, no one on the berries, so I go into the wood. And I find some more. So again, this is a pretty good raid. And because of this, their push is completely nullified. I end up losing the horsemen. But overall, it's pretty good, because I've evened out the number of villager kills. While this was happening, oh my fish... Okay, yeah, while this was happening, I started walling up the rest of my base. And what am I focusing on right now? I'm trying to get the Imperial Academy up, which means I need 400 wood, 400 food and 200 gold. And I want that in order to produce villagers faster than the French. Even on 1 TC. So you can see now I have too much wood and too much gold, way too much gold. And that's because I was distracted with the fights. And here my scout sees the villagers coming back, so I'm like, oh, no way, did they build a dock? Or did they build a market? So after I saw them, I moved back here and saw that there was a mill, so I guessed that they must have gone shoreline fishing, when in fact we saw earlier that they were taking the deer. But it doesn't matter. The important point was to check that they're not fishing, because if they're fishing, I want to take down their dock. Because of the push, I'm producing army again, so that if they try to push again, then I have something to defend with. I used all of my wood on farms, and the Imperial Academy, yes, I used my 400 food and 200 gold for that. And what else am I doing here? I'm trying to raid again the gold, but this time they have spearmen. And here I scout that they're about to raid me again, and I send this one on goose chase. So I intentionally go into the back so that it takes them more time to chase me and then come back to my base. My horsemen are dead because of the two spearmen, and also because they have the towers. So from this point on, I know that I cannot really raid this spot with horsemen anymore. Anyway, so I see this force, I know that they're preparing a push again, so I need to use my resources on army. And you can see this dock here. So the previous dock was here, and I figured that if I build one here, they might come and see it and burn it down again. So I went here, hoping that they would not send the scouts here, and my fishing ships would be free to continue fishing, and indeed they did not. Also, I had, with the excess wood, I used them on a second dock and more fishing, because on this pond there is not that much fish, so I'm actually limited to the number of fishing boats that I can produce. So in order to boost my economy some more, if I want to make more fishing boats, it has to be on another pond. Okay, so what am I doing now? Building units, researching economic upgrades, and more horsemen again. I actually had not scouted the rams. And I'm going for the castle age, and I'm expecting to make knights. So I prepare 3 more stables. So I have 4 stables and a bunch of resources. I have a bunch of food and gold, which is perfect to upgrade my units and also start making knights. and the knights will do great against the archers. So at this point I see the ram. I see the ram push, and yeah, I simply need to make as many units as I can to defend this. So I thought that I had enough forces here, especially since the knights are coming. So my archers, sorry, the enemy archers are being targeted by the horsemen. I have plenty of spears that are killing the knights. I have evacuated my villagers. They're in the town center. Imperial officer is about to die. Yes, they died. But see, I have plenty of spears, and I'm waiting for the knights. I've queued up a few knights, and where are they? Well, as you can see, they just destroyed my village, which means I'm population capped. So these knights that I've been producing, they're not out yet. They're still not out, and I don't even have enough wood to produce to make another village. A village costs 125 wood. I have 117. So I'm super delayed right now, and then you can see here that I'm up by 18 populations. 18 populations over the limit, which means even a house will not be able to unblock me and get my knights out to defend against this. So at this point, they're ram rushing my base, and I'm trying to evacuate. I desperately need wood. And the sad thing is, oh, okay, suddenly I have over 50 wood. I don't know how that happened. Maybe some villager delivered wood at my town center or something. Anyway, so I have enough wood to make one lumber camp. It's the only wood I have, just enough to have one lumber camp. But you can see that I have so much food and not enough wood. So I need all the wood I can get to make production buildings, to make the village, so that the 3 knights can go up and that my buildings can produce more army. Yeah, I need wood right now. So all my villagers are on wood. I have a few spearmen. I sent them to take down the rams. Also have some units in there. Yeah. So what I should have done actually was use the spearmen on the knights instead of on the rams. Kill the knights and then the rams. Anyway, so they killed another village, which means I'm even more population capped. Luckily, I managed to get a bunch of wood, so I make 2 villages, 2 houses, and that's enough to unblock. And now the knights are out, finally. They've been blocked by for a good 3 minutes, I would say. And my villagers are here because the archers are busy with the knights. They come out, kill one ram, and they have to come back in because there's too many units here. I'm still preparing more units here, but then cavalry against spearmen, that's never gonna work. So I do not send them to fight, just to run around so that the town center can focus them. Oh, I did try to damage the ram, but it didn't kill them. So now my town center is going down, which is not good. That's like 12 villagers, so they have to evacuate. And so what's going on here? I'm trying to make more production buildings. I need wood. And you can see here there's a chop through, so I will actually make a palisade again so that they will not be able to go out there. So at this point I've kind of abandoned this base. What I'm trying to do is just so every production building is rallying here so that I can produce army over here, mass up here, and then push them back when I'm ready. But right now I just don't have enough units. So I'm still out of wood, as you can see. The wood is the limiting factor, because I need wood for more production buildings, and wood for houses, and wood for the spearmen. Everyone is on wood, the rest of my economy is in fishing ships. And as this happens, they're destroying my buildings one after the other. So the advantage of the Chinese is that they have more landmarks than the usual civilization. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 landmarks. So they have 2 more to go. If I lose these 2, I lose the game. But I don't want to send my forces and not be enough, because then they would continue pushing and I would lose the game. So I'm trying to wait for the last minute to push them back. And you can see I'm trying to spend as much as I can. I've nearly spent all my food. I've spent all my gold. I'm putting a bunch of people on gold, and my wood is nearly done. So this is the state of affairs right now. I have a huge push. My base is entirely cleared, and this is the last landmark. So if this goes down, I lose the game. So my spearmen are trying to fight the knights. The horsemen are trying to fight the ranged units, and now I'm like, okay, this is getting critical. Like if this goes down, I lose the game, so I need to focus the rams, bringing more reinforcements. And for these villagers to come all the way here to repair it, it would be too late. So I destroy the palisades to give them a shortcut, and I put all of these to repair. And now I have to destroy the rams, and luckily I was this close to losing the game. Maybe 2 more ram hits and this building goes down and I lose the game. Anyway, so at this point, yeah, my base is in shambles. I have a lot of wood, but then I also need to repair all of these landmarks. And I'm completely out of food. So now I'm on the berries in order to make more units, and I try to push them back to give me time to rebuild my base. So this was like so close. I've never come this close to losing a game. And now I'm pushing. If you look at the economy, actually my economy is pretty even with theirs, and it's all thanks to the fishing. Without it, I would have lost long ago. Anyway, so I tried to send a knight to raid, but they have a bunch of spearmen, so it doesn't work. And on this side, they're starting to panic and they build a keep. So I see the keep being built, so instead of chasing the knight, I bring them to this side of the base. Thanks to the knight, thanks to the spears, they don't complete the keep. And I have more here. So they cancel the keep, and I use this opportunity to raid their base. At this point, I just want to idle their economy. While this is happening, I'm sending more. While this is happening, I'm repairing all my landmarks, except I run out of wood. Also, I raid over here and it looks like it distracted them some more, so now they have lost 20 villagers. Which is more, 21, which is more than I have lost. My spearman is still here, causing disruption, and now they're trying to build the castle again, and I have more coming, so this is also not going to go up. But also I tried to send people over there because I saw that they had a mill, so probably they had villagers. So that's more idle time for them. They try to send one unit, but this doesn't do anything. Maybe they used it for scouting, I'm not sure. And yeah, everyone is dead over here now. I didn't actually see this happen. It looks like they lost more villagers over here, which is great. And oh, there, they went out. They were able to escape. But yeah, so they lose this keep, and I'm back to rebuilding my base. I haven't closed this gap yet, and I'm back to wood because I need wood for rebuilding all my buildings. And I use this lull to research more economic upgrades. And now my goal is to build more production because I lost like all my stables. So I want more stables, and I want to make a bunch of knights. And this raid is actually not going to produce anything. This force destroyed the tower and one villager, the one villager that was in it. And now they're at 50 villagers versus 72. So the game is starting to reverse a little bit. And this time I'm trying to take more territory. So on top of rebuilding I rebuilt this palisade wall thinking that I would be safe, but it looks like there was also a gap, as you can see. So I built this other palisade wall in order to secure this side and put stables over here. And I also send people to put palisade walls on this side and take the board for food. Despite the fishing, I actually ran out of food, so yeah, food. I realized that I needed some more food. And it's funny, I didn't realize throughout the entire game that I had a gap here. So yeah, since I don't know when the next push will come, I try to produce as many units as I can, as well as putting production buildings. And yeah, at this point I see this push coming, and I see that they have a bunch of spearmen. So I know that I want horsemen, and I want a nest of bees. But as you can see, my astronomical clock tower, which is supposed to produce my nest of bees, is still down. I had forgotten to repair it all this time. So that was a misclick, they just went out on their own. So I lose all these units, which is pretty bad. But that shows me how much I need the nest of bees because of all these crossbows. I was preparing to make knights, and knights will not work against crossbows nor the spears. So yeah, see, you can see I'm queuing up knights. And now I also want, suddenly, I want a castle because they have rams and a bunch of units, and I figured that a castle might give me enough time to build the army to beat them. And now I'm rushing out the repairs to the astronomical clock tower, but the nest of bees also costs a lot, 300 wood. Anyway, so I have enough. I queue up one nest of bees. That's the only resource. It's the only wood I have. And my villagers worked overtime. The imperial officer was supervising this stone mine, so I was able to collect the stone super fast. And as you know, the Chinese also build fortifications faster than other civilizations. Plus, I have 24 villagers, so it went out nearly instantly. And now I'm researching boiling oil. Since I have a bunch of villagers, I figured that I could spend them. I mean, I could afford to lose a few of them on the rams. only enough to burn down one ram, and then because these, like while they were busy fighting my units, they wouldn't kill my villagers. But now that all my units are dead, then they would massacre my villagers, and I do not want that. So my nest of bees is ready, and you can see the damage that it does to them. Now they send their men-at-arms to destroy the nest of bees, but you can see how I'm repairing it, and my castle is about to die, but now my villagers are on it. It's so close to dying. And now that the crossbows are dead, the nest of bees and my cavalry are able to focus on the rams, and finally the castle survives. And only now do I run out of stone. I'm so lucky I didn't run out of stone earlier, because then they would have definitely brought down the castle. So I'm putting everyone back to stone and leaving 2 on the repairs for the castle. And I sent my cavalry to destroy the springholes. I don't know if you saw it earlier, but there were 3 springholes. And now that the springholes are down, it means that the nest of bees can continue to threaten the crossbows. So what am I up to now? Basically still trying to rebuild my economy. So I'm spending my wood, my excess wood, on farms, and I also want ranged units. Against the crossbows I want archers, against the men-at-arms I want crossbows. So I'm going to put down a bunch of archery ranges. Do you see this? So the knights came back to check that I was not fishing, and they saw that the dock is still destroyed, and they assumed that I was not fishing. I'm so glad that I put my my dock over here. This party is raiding, but didn't find anything. So yeah, I'm switching to farms now. I send units to chase the knights away, and then I put palisade walls in order to force the fight on that area. And now I'm starting to make crossbows. So at this point, my economy is slightly better than theirs, but their army is far stronger. You can see that it's nearly double the number of units, but also the army value is more than double mine. So that is exactly why I did not want to push at this point. Look at this army, it's huge. So many crossbows and men-at-arms, and a whole lot of rams. So I saw the knights go down south, which means that nothing can threaten my nest of bees, which is why I send it all the way out there, away from my units and away from it. And it's doing great work. Most of the crossbows are dead, and now I can try and shoot the rams. But the knights are coming, so I bring my nest of bees back. The spears killed the knights, and now since the ranged units are out there, my melee units are free to damage the rams. And you can see here that they tried to send their men-at-arms onto my nest of bees, but again it has survived. So this nest of bees has been a game changer. Now 3 more springles come, and so they finally managed to take down my nest of bees, but even so, it has been worth it. 700 resources to kill so many crossbows and siege enemy rams, yes, it's worth it. And my castle finally went down, but at this point I'm quite happy with the results because their army has been completely wiped out and I'm left with a pretty large army. All my stables are down, my keep is down, but I'm in a pretty good position now. So I'm sending everything to their base, and since I'm about to push their base, I want siege, so I'm queuing 2 trebuchets, another nest of bees in 3 rams, and producing armies still. So with this, I'm pretty much unstoppable. They don't have a mangonel, and even if they did, I have the melee to deal with it, and so they resign. So this game has been incredibly exciting for me because there were so many moments where I was about to lose like the game or a keep, and every time I managed to survive with a sliver of health. So yeah, it's been really exciting. I hope you enjoyed watching this game, and I'll see you next time.